Good afternoon. My name is Lane Lewis. I have been in and around progressive and civil rights politics and activism for about 25 years, and I've been very, very blessed to have had very supportive parents through most of that. Now, they didn't always understand some of the stories I would come home and talk about, such as young drag and transgendered individuals that were thrown out of their house and then shelter organizations would refuse service to them, or young women who were ejected from their apartment because the apartment owner found out they were lesbian and would turn their electricity off. But all that changed in the early 90s. When I was in my early 20s, my mother's brother, at the age of 46, came down with AIDS. And one day we were up the road here in Atascocita at a major grocery store chain, and it came time to pay for the groceries. And my uncle took out his cash and handed it to the woman, and she wouldn't take it.
Thank you. Your time has expired. Thank you.
Lane, I met you when you were helping run a shelter and outreach program for homeless street kids on the streets of Montrose.
Yes, ma'am.
And you introduced me to my son.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Boykins.
Lane, you want to finish up, and then I want to add some comments.
I would be honored to. We stood there in the grocery store, and she began explaining why it was their policy that they did not have to take money from individuals who were visibly ill, like he was at the time. My mother was very confused. She didn't understand what was going on. I recognized it immediately. My uncle stood there embarrassed, didn't know how to handle it. I told him to put his money away, and we paid for it. Since that day, a light bulb went off in my mother's head. She began to see the world as a very different place. I understand that every one of us, every one of you here today has a vote, and with that vote comes its own political and personal pressures. But what I ask of each of you today is that you remember that someday your child or your brother might reap the benefits of or suffer the consequences of your decisions. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, let me just say real quick, I apologize for calling you Lane, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Councilman.
Thank you for coming down. Thanks for your comments.
Thank you.